So, as participants in the first cohort of the Leadership Development Program, you had an opportunity to learn from leaders within the education field, as well as learn with your peers at Miami-Dade County. When you think about your experience in the program, what would you say was the most impactful to you as the professionals that you are?
Buenos días.
Good morning, Jose Jimenez, for the benefit of all our listeners. I think one thing that had a great impact on me were the sessions that we had during the 6 weeks. Among those two particular ones, the one on use of data and how data should be connected to decision making to make proper decisions for the operations of the department. So to know the implications that the correct use of data has, that really opened my mind for when we're doing our work, to have that this has a direct consequence on decisions. And number two, I think the session on equity, how we are equitable in terms of resources and funds that are assigned to each one of our schools. In my case, I direct the occupational and technical schools, and how what we use from we receive from Perkins funds every year is enough to address the needs of each school community and each student, and so that at the end of the day, my students can become part of our labor market. I think those were the two sessions that impacted me the most in terms of my professional development. Thank you. Anybody else?
How have you applied your learnings from the program to your day-to-day work? So think about some of the sessions, your visits, your action learning projects. How have you taken those experiences to apply it to your day-to-day work?
Good morning. I'm Leonor Marrero. This opportunity that we had to participate in the program was really a great experience. On a day-to-day basis, we deal with the challenges that the system has, and teachers cannot wait, and you have to find an immediate solution to your situations. And this helped us have more resources to carry that out. In terms of the leadership that we apply day to day in the educational system of this country, and this helps you think about the decisions that you have to make on a day-to-day basis. Our students will always be the most important foundation of the public educational system, and it has been demonstrated that academics are important in decision making and for the benefit of our students.
You're a little nervous here. Okay, so how has the Leadership Development Program impacted how you view your roles as leaders within PRDE? How did you think, or how do you think about your career trajectory moving forward?
Saludos a todos, doctora Damaris Varela, directora del Instituto de
Good morning. I'm director of the Professional Development Institute and relationships with the university. At present, through these cameras, there are many employees of the agency watching us. This is a system where we have 248,000 students and teachers, and many of the ones that are in the classroom have a very high professional level. We have people with master's degrees and doctorates, and through academics. This invited us to continue a process of high professional impact through the through this learning process, and my trajectory of 20 years in the system. The tools that my students teach me, the opportunity to visit and be close in other districts, broadens the process to continue to grow professionally and maintain a high professional level. And as educators, we must continue to acquire information continuously, but above all, to apply them and to close the educational gap.
Okay. What did it mean to you to be a member of this community? And what did you learn from collaborating with your peers from other divisions of PRDE and other parts of the country?
Buenos días a todos.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jenny Ortiz, Coordinator for Professional Development of the Department of Education. For me, this is a very enriching experience as part of my professional life. The topics that were discussed throughout the entire program. It made me think about how, from my role as a leader in the Department of Education, I could have an impact and make a difference in the Department of Education, but consequently also reach school communities and students. We can never forget that they are ROI, and we should never forget, y nunca debemos olvidar que nuestra razón de ser, o sea, la razón de ser del Departamento de Educación son ellos. So that's had a great impact on me. And the process of working with peers and confirming that we all have a common goal, which is to strengthen academic performance and most of all, the social-emotional aspect of each one of our school communities.
Okay, thank you. And this is the last question. And I want you to think about PRDE, but other agencies as well in Puerto Rico. So how would you wish to see the Leadership Development Program evolve as it continues to serve PRDE and potentially other agencies in Puerto Rico? What advice do you have for leaders like you who are looking to make a difference in public education?
Definitivamente a mis colegas que entran en este próximo corte y en otras agencias.
Definitely, yeah, to maintain high ethics. This is something that each of us should define in our professional process. Likewise, having a lot of knowledge and something we learned is that we have to stop at times when our reflection processes. We need to stop and think if we're making the best decisions. A decision that in the educational system at the central level, this impacts the entire country. So my peers, and something I love to see with everyone is that we continue with reflections that so that we can this could represent not just Puerto Rico but the entire nation, where all of the educators and the leaders can do something to work every day to collaborate toward transformation of our society and our students. Anyone else? I'd like to add to that. In terms of academics, it would be very good for this to be recreated in other government aspects, because this gives many colleagues the opportunity to reflect on the tools this offers for the system in the long term. We are not focused on only how we learn, but how we apply. Public service is a position of great social responsibility, and with this toolbox we can benefit as the entire government of Puerto Rico. I'd like to add that one of the recommendations I'd like to see is that teachers and school directors have the opportunity to go through this leadership program. They implement all the public policy we develop at a central level, so the strategy should be that they have that experience as well to be able to implement the public policy. They're the ones who are in the classroom every day. So I would finally ask that there be continuation, although voluntary. We leaders never stop learning. I think this is part of making a difference. We always need additional support. Thank you to all of you, and you can stay here.
So just an overall thank you to Secretary Ramos and the Leadership Development alumni for sharing your experiences and thoughts with us today. So as we close, I want to reiterate that while PRDE has and continues to make significant progress to support students and its communities, there is a long road ahead. There will always be areas for growth and development, but however, it's critical that advocates for PRDE work together to further this work. So I charge and I urge parents, students, teachers, administrators, government officials, nonprofit organization, and us, the Oversight Board, we all have to play a role in pushing this critical work forward. Thank you and have a pleasant day.